Okay, so I've seen a lot of movies in 2019, and a lot of them were on Netflix or on Blu ray, but there is a bunch that I saw in theaters when they came out, and I thought I would review every single one of them for your boredom during this fucking quarantine. So here you go. First up, Shazam. I liked it. It was fun. It was a fun superhero movie that cashes in on Marvel's meta of how to write a superhero movie. It's very lighthearted, very goofy, has some serious moments, has a good heart, and is a hell of a lot of fun. I would rate this one a definite 7 or 8 out of 10. Probably more a 7. The Curse of La Llorona. Oh. This movie, it has potential. Like the Mexican folklore tale of a woman that drowns her kids, then drowns herself, and then finds out she isn't allowed into heaven until she finds her kids, then wanders the planet in order to find her kids again, but kills other kids instead. It has a lot of potential. It has potential, but this movie is so boring. Like, you remember my criticisms of The Grudge 2020, where jump scares were the meta? Well, it's like they watched this movie and then decided, yeah, we're gonna take this movie's scares, but take the creativity out. Somehow, The Grudge 2020 is worse than La Llorona, but that's not saying much because La Llorona is a piece of shit. Awful. Don't want to see it ever again. 3 out of 10. They Shall Not Grow Old, a documentary written by Peter Jackson, also known for the Lord of the Rings trilogy. It was amazing. Like, I want to buy this on Blu-ray in order to add to my collection, but sadly, this movie it's expensive in my country, basically. On DVD, it's pretty cheap, but on Blu-ray, oof. It was amazing. It was legitimately amazing. Seeing all that footage being colored in, being worked on, it was a solid watch. Shocking, of course. Amazing, absolutely. And just shows you how scary war can be. I definitely recommend this one for anybody that is a avid fan of World War movies and such. 9 out of 10. Hellboy. Talk about wanting to start a franchise but failing so hard at it. This movie is kind of like built as if you know the character already and as if you know what he's always up to, but I've never seen the original Hellboy movie, so I have no idea what he is, what he does, where he came from. And this movie definitely doesn't do any effort trying to pull you in. It's a dumb action movie, basically. It has fun visuals sometimes, and the action scenes are pretty spectacular, though the CG could use some work. If this was a franchise that was built up from the ground up, and this would be the climax movie, I would call it pretty solid, but this one, as an introduction to set up the future of the movies, no, absolutely not. No. 5 out of 10, maybe a 4. Fighting with My Family. So, supposedly, this is a wrestling movie about how a wrestler got to be a wrestler out of her wrestler family, and her little brother failed and still teaches in their country of origin. I've seen this one a while ago. It was April 23rd. It was okay. I mean, there was a lot of jokes. The story was, I don't know, just kind of too basic. I mean, The Rock was a lot of fun, and they had one good joke with him. Basically, The Rock tries to leave, like, 5 times over, but they keep, like, saying his name as if they want to say something to him, and he gets visually more frustrated every time they call him back, and it was actually a good laugh. But all in all, this one is just... It's good on the story, but that's about all I can say about it. Yeah, 6 out of 10. It's okay. The Boat. This was a pretty interesting movie for the premise alone that there was this guy that had his boat sink and then he had to find an alternative and there was just this one boat as his only option with a misty environment. So he goes on and all kinds of shit happens. And we spend the majority of the movie just with this guy. As a matter of fact, he's the only actual character we have in the movie. Throughout the entire film, it just brilliantly tries to clue you in on what's going on. Like, is the boat haunted? Is someone on it? Is it being controlled from a distance? Like, what's going on? But I do have to say, it wasn't the strongest movie, like, tension-wise. And it's a foreign film, so I'm not expecting a whole lot of people to see this. But I'm glad I saw it once, at least. But I do admit the thought of a killer boat, it's a little silly. It's a little bit silly. But still, it was a solid watch for once, so a 6 out of 10. Wild Rose. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so do you like country music? Yeah? Okay, well, so do I sometimes. Do you like predictable feel-good movies? No? Well, me neither. This is a predictable feel-good movie of a woman that wants to be a country singer. Like, she wants to make it big, but she has a family and a mother to think about. And at some point, she cleans for a family, and the family offers her a chance of singing at a wedding or a birthday. I don't really remember. It's not really a memorable movie. You know what's going to happen in the end. She's going to have to pick between her family or her career. And if you don't know how this ends, then honestly, watch a feel-good movie. They're very predictable. There's a ton of them, and well, I don't find them very interesting. Greta. This is a movie that was great. It was intense. I really didn't know what to expect when I came in because all I saw was the poster, which you see right now, and what can you make out of this? Nothing? Well, me neither. But coming into the movie, it was a surprisingly good thriller. Yeah, this is a thriller. It was good. It was about a woman that found a handbag on a train and didn't know who it belonged to. So she looked and found the address in the purse. Then she goes there, then she finds the woman, gives it back, and they get befriended. But slowly but surely, there's more to this woman than she can possibly think. And that makes for one hell of a second act and a third act. Because the first act, it's a little bit slow, and it's good. It kind of introduces you, lets you see the characters, lets them see interact. But the third act is where shit really gets good. I definitely recommend this movie if you're into thrillers. Pokemon Detective Pikachu, Dutch version. I had one big nostalgia boner. There were a whole lot of question marks with the plot. There were a lot of things that didn't make sense to me. I didn't get so many of the decisions, but I don't really remember much either because it was just one giant nostalgia boner. So, would I recommend it? Probably. If you're a Pokemon fan, you'll like it, but I'm not a huge Pokemon fan anymore. Like, I can enjoy a game or two. Like, Sword was okay, pre-expansion was okay, but this movie? 5 out of 10? Maybe closer to a 4? The Hustle, okay? There was this one clip in the trailer that got a legit laugh out of me, but the rest of the movie, I wanted to bang my head against the fucking wall. It was so boring, bad, and awkward. It was really bad. I would legitimately never want to see this movie again. I hated it. Absolutely hated it. It was awful. The acting, it was good. It was good, yeah, but the story, the script, Rebel Wilson, fucking Rebel Wilson. It's kind of like they put a cartoon character next to a almost cartoon character, and then the rest of the people around them are not cartoon characters. That's this movie, and that's what it feels like. Blah. 2 out of 10. Worst movie so far in this review that I've seen in 2019. Brightburn. What if Superman came to Earth, but he a bad boy? That's the premise. And they really don't go very creative with it. This could be a really fun, good horror movie, but it was awful. It was just awful. Like, they do the jump scare things, and now it's kind of excusable because he's super powered, super fast, and super. Not a good time. No, this was predictable. Again, I mean, the child actor isn't even that awful, but so many times the characters make horrible decisions, trying to harm the kid whenever they almost win his trust over, and then he turns more bad every time they do it. But for some reason, they don't learn from it, and they keep doing it, and eventually the kid turns out to be a world threat. Better bring in Batman, because this is not a movie I would be able to save. Awful. Long Shot. I actually got bored during this one. I don't know. I was with a friend, and it was... I don't know. The jokes were okay. The plot was okay, but it just didn't grab me. It was just boring. De Libby. This is a Dutch movie. And it was really awful. It was so bad that within the first 10 minutes we walked out. It was so fucking bad. It tries to like depict the lowest form of youth that we have in this country. And it does it so well that it scares off anyone to watch this movie but maybe the youth. So, yeah, congrats. You succeeded. You made me hate it. 1 out of 10. New worst movie. just because of the first 10 minutes. Is that a fair review? Probably not. Okay, so you're not the worst movie yet, but it's just because you're so awful I don't want to give you a first spot in anything. Now, that is truly horrifying. 5 Feet Apart. I cried? Yeah, it was a good dramatic movie that I didn't first want to see, but I saw it. It was good. Definitely good. I recommend this one if you're into drama and you need a good cry, even though you know exactly what's going to happen. But throughout the movie, you just kind of sit there like, please don't let that happen. And then it happens. Oh, the world is awful. Yeah. Pretty good drama movie. I'm not going to spoil the story because you really want to go into the story for the better. Like knowing absolutely nothing. Ma. Yep, I saw this one. I actually liked it. I don't get why so many people are shitting on this movie. Like, it's a bunch of teenagers that want to party and they don't know where to go, and then they encounter this woman that offers her house up. And this woman is a killer actor in this movie. She portrays her role very well. I'd love to see her in future projects kind of portraying a similar role, but judging by how well this movie did and how people are responding to it, I don't think it's going to go very far. This movie is not going to do well. And it already didn't really bring in a whole lot of money, so I'm not expecting Blu-ray sales to be all that stellar, but I recommend this one. Like, if it's on Netflix, give it a watch. It's a good one. 7 out of 10. Child's Play. Okay, I'm a solid Chucky fan. And hearing that this one would be coming out, I was kind of confused why they would do a reboot when the previous Chucky film set up such a grand universe. But then I found out that apparently the rights of this movie are all over the place. Like, the first movie belongs to this studio, and then there's the studio that made the sequels that took the IP that way. And they both own the property. But apparently the one with Don Mancini is the one that has the continuous story. Like, this one is a reboot from all the way over there. But besides that, how is the movie itself? You know, I enjoyed it, kinda. Like, I think that the premise of the first one is way better because it's a human using voodoo magic to go into a doll, so there's a human mind in there with all of this knowledge that kind of tries to play it cool like he's a puppet, but he's not. And then there's this one that's an AI that got corrupted because a worker didn't do his work very properly, and now it's a bad boy. And he starts killing things eventually. It's not a bad movie, I think. It's not the best in hell, but it's better than Child's Play 3, I'd say. And Child's Play 3 is definitely a bad movie. It's like so bad that it's good, but this one is like, it's like, I'll watch it again. I actually watched it twice. Once alone and once with a friend. And seeing my friend's reaction to some of the things in there was hilarious. But would I watch a sequel? I'm such a Chucky fan that probably I'll still watch it just because I have Pathé Unlimited, which basically means I pay a fee a month and then can see movies unlimited, like for free. And hell, if I go to the movies twice, I get my money out of it, so you know I'll be in theaters. I would give this movie a 6 or 7 out of 10. Like, it's closer to a 7 because I did have a lot of fun and I'm gonna get it on Blu-ray, so it did something right. And that Buddy song is never gonna leave my head. Hell, Jim Bro actually plays it on the piano all the time. Men in Black International. All right, I'm gonna give you a spoiler right now. This movie is a 1 out of 10 because this may be a controversial opinion, but Chris Hemsworth is just a dumbass in this movie that somehow is in the top spot. And then there's this girl that wants to get into the Men in Black, and then there's jokes about, why is it the Men in Black? Why is it the people in black? Like, it screams SJW writing, and you know that I'm not very fond of them because they ruin humor. And they just complain for the sake of complaining. Like, rather than complaining online, why don't you actually do something? And this movie, I guess, tried to do something. It just failed miserably. Like, this girl pulls things out of her ass, like talents, combat experience, knowing how alien technology works, though never seeing it before, knowing how Men in Black electronics work, disassembling a bike, all that stuff. Like, this is Mary Sue in Men in Black, but without any charm. It was horrible. I hated it. 2 out of 10. No, wait, 1. Absolute 1. I thought for an extra point because there's a little minion, but the rest of the movie is so bad that, yeah, that 1 point out of 10, that's the minion. There, yeah, this movie has 1 point for a minion. Doesn't even get a whole lot of screen time, but he's the best character in the fucking movie. Crawl. She outswims 5 crocodiles going against the flow, while some of the crocodiles are going with the flow, and she outswims them. So that's gonna be our movie, huh? We're gonna nerf animals for the sake of making humans look so much more powerful. This is such a dangerous thing to promote, too. Like, imagine if somebody would watch these movies and then eventually gets into a dangerous situation and say, oh, but I saw in this movie that she outswam the crocodiles, so I can outswim the crocodiles, too. And then goes to take a swim, fucking dies. Good job, dumbass. As for the movie itself, sometimes there's impressive CG or puppetry on the crocodiles. I don't know. Characters are there for the sake of dying. And what else do I remember about this movie? The ending just cuts. Like she's on a rooftop. There's a helicopter coming down. About to pick him up, and it just cuts. That's it. That's the ending. If you expected some kind of grand celebration, there's none. Stupid. 4 out of 10 because the cellar scene is actually kind of entertaining, but as soon as it leaves the cellar, it all goes downhill. Palms. This was a surprise. I didn't think that I was going to get anything out of this movie, but it was good. It's about a cancer patient that just kind of wants to live her last days peacefully and then eventually die. But she has all these women around her that just kind of want to do something. They want to live, even though they're in this neighborhood that basically is there to let them slowly die. And then they pick up cheerleading, and it starts off rough. But the audition scene, I was laughing with Jim Bro so loud. I'm pretty sure someone called to get us removed, but it didn't. We didn't get removed. This is a funny, good, dramatic movie, and all the actresses in it are pretty damn good. Some of the characters that are supposed to be the stick in the mud are kinda Like, what are your motivations? Come on, we don't know these people. Like, why are you a stick in the mud? But other than that, the movie is pretty fucking good. It's entertaining, and is it just me, or is Julia Roberts kinda hot? I mean, I'm not into grannies or anything, but damn! Stuber. I mean, it's a movie. It's a dumb buddy cop action movie involving something of the times, which is Uber. If you like that, then yeah, there's your movie. If you like this actor or this actor, yeah, there it is. That's your movie. I don't really know what else you expected, but it's not entertaining. Not at least to me. I don't remember a whole lot other than everything that the cop had to do which had him involved. He was absolutely like, oh, no, 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 no. I wasn't entertaining to me. Like, it was just a 5 out of 10. Like, below average to me. The dead don't die. If you're sick of zombie movies, then fucking watch this one, because oh my god, it knows exactly what it is, and it's so funny while doing it. It's yes, absolutely yes. Watch this one. It's good. I'm not going to get into the story at all because you gotta see this one. Either get it on Blu-ray, watch it on Netflix, any fucking streaming service that it's on. This is a solid laugh. I'm not going to spoil anything. If you've watched this movie, the ending, bruh. The fucking ending. Yeah, this is 8. This is an 8 or 9 out of 10. It was such a joy to see. The Playmobil movie. You know the Lego movie? Yeah? Okay, now suck all the fun out of it? Yeah? You're done? Okay, now clone the Lego movie? Good. Now make that movie take a shit. Right? Now take some of that shit, put it in a blender, add in an inferior product to Lego and replace the Lego with said product. Yeah, okay, that's looking like a really shitty blend. Now, put in some product placements. Good, good. And, oh yeah, suck the budget out, the creative writing out. And, oh yeah, before you show me this movie, actually give me so much alcohol that I barely remember the movie and that I got my first hangover the very next day. Right. This sucked. It sucked. I'm not going to go into the story because it's not worth it. It sucked. What else do you expect? It sucked. 1 out of 10. Never want to see this again. Ah, the new worst movie. Yeah, a 1 out of 10. Holy shit, we got it. Yay. Next. Nomis, Night Hunter. Good thriller. This was good. There were a few minor plot holes that hopefully get explained on the Blu-ray deleted scenes section. But this was really good. I already made a review on it. It's actually the first movie review I did here. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was a solid thriller with some good twists, some great performances. Holy damn. This is a solid movie. I recommend this to any of you that are fans of the guy that plays The Witcher. I forgot his name for now. I'm sorry. Like I'm not this is not scripted. This is just me sitting here doing this out of memory, okay? Henry Cavill. There you go. Got him. Henry Cavill. Good movie. 8 out of 10. Don't put that on a quote. Blinded by the light. Ugh. 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 Not a recommendation of mine. You remember when I said predictable feel-good movie involving music? I really like Bruce Springsteen, but at the end of this movie, I couldn't bear hearing any of his songs anymore. Oh my racist God. This was a pain to watch. Like, if you've seen the first 10 minutes, you know exactly what's going to happen at the end. And that is exactly what's going to happen at the end. It sucked. It was so predictable. You knew exactly which characters were going to have a fallout, what characters were going to make up and be good at the end. No surprises, super boring, really dislike it, do not watch. 2 out of 10. Scary stories to tell in the dark. I enjoyed it. I got it on Blu-ray. It's not the best horror movie, but the standards that have been set for horror movies lately is so low that one scene in this movie actually terrified me. Just because I wasn't used to movies scaring me with atmosphere rather than bah, and now you're scared. The one scene is with the pale woman. If you've seen this scene, ooh, that was a spicy meatball. Okay, that's racist. I'm not gonna spoil it either, because the story is pretty shitty. But when the monsters actually come in, solid. 7 or 8 out of 10. More so a 7. Midsummer. You know a movie that builds up from the beginning, that goes to the middle, and then completely, like, falls flat on its ass in the end? Yeah, that's kind of like this one. I mean, it was okay. The end, like, the very ending was weird. Seeing a bunch of naked women chanting and just kind of jumping and being crazy around a man having sex with a girl. And then being put in a bear carcass in a mill and then set on fire. Yeah, that's the ending. It was something. Would I recommend it? I guess for a one-time watch. I won't see myself seeing this one again, but it was a good one-time watch. Just kind of, just the end. Just the last third was like, you could have cut like 20 minutes of footage out, and it would have saved the movie. Next, Toy Story 4. When you grow up with a franchise, but you kind of grow faster than the franchise does, and you kind of grow out of it, and then you kind of come back into it, and then it's like, okay. And then the next one comes out 10 years later. That's what it feels like, at least. And then you see this one, and it's, I really like it. Good job. Keep that up. Keep that up. That was solid. Like, the so-called villain of this movie is actually my favorite character in the entire movie. It was such a heart tear seeing that. My God. I recommend this movie. Like, if you're a Toy Story fan, go see it. It's fun. It's maybe a little too intense for little kids sometimes, but it's a fun watch. I recommend it. Fisherman's Friend. Oh man, just the sea shanties. And then the story behind it. I made an entire review of it, which I'm guessing you already saw, and if you didn't, then go there for a more in-depth look. Plus some extra, which kind of made the movie more powerful. It's in there, you can see it. But this movie, yeah. It kept me invested the entire time. There's no action in it whatsoever. You can interpret that multiple ways, but it's just a good, charming story, and I'm usually not just for those kind of movies, but this one, yeah. If you can find it in any streaming services or on Blu-ray, go get it. This is a good, heartwarming movie. And sometimes we need that, maybe especially during this crisis. Yeah, virus, yo. The Kitchen. Boring. Bunch of housewives are sick of being housewives, so when their husbands go to prison, they take over the mob, and then they fight amongst each other. And that's it. I mean, I really didn't enjoy it. It was so incredibly forced. And especially the ending made this a racist movie. I'm not into racism. I hate racism. So, would I recommend this one? No. Absolutely not. If you're a woman looking for a woman empowering movie, go for it. This is for you. You would enjoy this. Like, all of the men are assholes. All of them. Legitimately all of them. So, no. 3 out of 10. Don't just make every man an asshole, dumbasses. Night. So I saw part 1 and 2 back to back, and I made an entire review on it, which goes more into detail, by the way. I didn't enjoy it, I can say. Like, maybe I need a rewatch on it, but I don't want to pay for it. Because I didn't enjoy it the first time. It was pretty bad. I was going in expecting a scary movie, but it wasn't. So I was disappointed very badly. The ending was probably some of the most pathetic shit I've seen ever. But sometimes the scares, it just kind of felt like such a toned down movie. Like, I'm trying to even remember what happens, but it's just a whole bunch of jokes. And then sometimes a kid gets killed, but we have zero connection to the kid. Like, yeah, it's a child and it sucks that it dies, but really? That's the best you got after such a stellar first movie? And I guess I'll bring up one point out of my review. Because they are adults, the scares don't work very well, because a grown man standing opposite of a clown is way less scary than a child standing in front of a clown, which towers over the child, by the way. There's a certain power dynamic. Like, the grown man be able to fight the clown, of course. Yeah, he's a supernatural force and everything. That's cool. But the visual presentation just makes the clown not scary. He's not threatening. So, the movie wasn't scary. Never. I'm sorry, but that's the best I got. 5 out of 10. Angry Birds 2. Okay. Is it bad to maybe, like, up until this point, through all the movies that we've gone through, that I'm calling this one the best? Yeah? Is that wrong? Well, fuck you! I'm calling it the best movie up until this point that I have seen. What a joy. What a joy of a movie. This is such a charming movie that after seeing the first one, which was a disappointment, this one is so much fun. There's so many fun characters, and the quote-unquote villain, of the movie. This is so much fun. This is such a fun character. It's such a fun design, too. And the scene in the bathroom, that had me almost piss my pants laughing. And I don't remember the last time anything made me piss my pants laughing. That goes to show. This movie, if you got a chance to see it, see it. Seriously, see it. It is so much fun. Movie of the year. Up until this point in the review. Maybe I'm going to encounter something else. 9 out of 10. Ready or Not. Okay, so this movie was... It didn't take itself very seriously, and it shows, and I appreciate that. And the ending, Jim Bro and I, we, up until this day, even though we saw this movie back in September, are still talking about the ending sometimes. It's such a fun ending. Just when you think that, well, I guess that's it. It happens. It fucking happens. And I'm not going to spoil what it is. You gotta see it. It is fun. Like, if you're going to see this movie, I'm not going to spoil what happens. Maybe look it up online, but it is such a fun, stupid ending. But the rest of the movie, it's okay. I'll give this one a 6 out of 10. Enjoyable watch at least once. The Kill Team. Undeniably racist, which is already a minus for me, but the movie wants to show that, so it's effective in showing that. I'm going to give you props for that. And supposedly it's true what happened in the movie, where the soldiers got framed and so did the Sarge. It was pretty shocking to see some of those things where soldiers just kill civilians and then present it as if they defended themselves. But they just killed because they wanted to kill. Pretty shocking premise, but it's an entertaining movie to see at least once, even though the undertone is definitely sensitive. Like, if you're sensitive, and I know a whole lot of you are, don't watch this. But if you're like me and you can take that kind of stuff, hell, you can pretty much take anything, go for it. It's a shocking but good watch to see at least once, to see another side of the war. A 6 out of 10. Ad Astra. Why is Brad Pitt kind of like a robot with no emotions throughout this entire movie? But I don't get it. Like, why is he like that? It bothered me throughout the entire film, but the effects, the sets, the presentation, the music, the sound, the visuals, it was also stellar. It was great. But why is he like that? Why is he just so expressionless? Like, if I want to see someone so expressionless, I'll just watch streamers when they're focused on playing the game. Like, they just kind of sit there just playing. There's no emotion. You don't see enjoyment. You don't see anything. It's just blank expression. As if they're robots. Hell, maybe they are. But the story and everything else was it was above average. This movie is above average. That's all I can say. Like a 6 or 7 out of 10. I enjoyed it, but I'm not going to see it again. Dr. Sleep. This was one hell of a movie. Like, I didn't expect any movies this year to have balls, and this one had bull-sized balls. Like, holy damn. You surely know how to shock an audience. Killing children? Spicy. And it even serves the story in doing so. And the actors? Great. Even the child actor. That was also good. Just that ending. Like the last third. Ooh. Goosebumps through the entire thing. I would recommend this movie to anybody that's a fan of The Shining, since this is a sequel. And it's such a good sequel that I think that many people will enjoy. If you're a fan of horror movies in general, I think you're going to enjoy this, but you got to sit through some of the little slow stuff in the beginning. But as soon as that slow stuff's gone, it's going to pick up and become a fun movie. 8 out of 10. Zombieland Double Tap. Oh my god, Zombieland. I love this movie franchise, even though it only has like 2 movies so far. It's good. I liked it. This one was as if the last movie just ended and the next one starts. It was good at picking up where it left off, though some things felt a little forced. The humor is on key. The characters, great. The story, good. Good. Not great, but good. The ending, fun. Just fun. It's good to have movies end with a fun ending. Because a lot of movies just end on this like super serious note, but this one had a fun ending. I would give this one a solid 8. An absolute 8. Joker. Angry Birds 2 and Joker. How can these movies sit at the top for me? How can both these movies just be so much fun for me? Like, in such a way that it actually pits them up against each other by being so enjoyable. But if it's movies that I would probably rewatch, I think Joker would win. The psychology is so on the nose all the time, but this is such a good movie to me, at least. I've seen it twice in theaters. I own it on Blu-ray too. And I would definitely recommend this for anybody to see. Even if you're not into superhero or supervillain movies, there's no supernatural stuff in this film. It's all just humans and the monstrosity of humans. And Joker is such a good portrayal by Joaquin Phoenix. I'm pretty sure I butchered that, but ooh. Yes. Joker, new movie of the year. 47 meters down uncaged. I hated it. Why do you pretend like the sharks have evolved and then you make this for 12 years and older or PG-13 if you're using the wrong ratings movie? Why do you want to be a shark movie but you're scared of being a shark movie? Why do you do these things? Why do you make the sharks blind and then the first kill they do on screen is so accurate, so fast, like a jump scare. And then the rest of the movie, they're kind of like submarines, really slow, and they don't strike fast. Great. I already made a review on this one, and it still stands. It's awful. It's legitimately awful. I don't like it. Hell, the actresses aren't even that great. Like, sometimes they go okay, but they never, like, go outside of the range of okay to anything better. So would I recommend this one? If you want to laugh at a stupid shark movie with a bunch of friends, go ahead. But if you're looking for a serious shark movie that's maybe going to stick with you, skip this one ASAP. 3. 3 out of 10. Haunt. Dumb. I mean, it going in, I expected a fun, stupid horror movie, but what I got was a movie that tried to be so serious that it just fell flat on its face. It was stupid. It was a really stupid movie, and am I glad that I saw it? Hell no. It was really fucking dumb. And for some reason, the theater that I went to even disabled reviews for it. I don't know why. Like, the rest of the movies I'm able to review, but this one is locked out. I don't know what that is about, but can't review this one. So I'm doing it here. It was dumb. 3 out of 10. Just like this movie. Maleficent 2. I haven't seen Maleficent 1. But Maleficent 2 is great. Holy damn. I didn't expect too much. Like, I don't watch trailers of movies. I just kind of go to movies that look potentially great. And this one was great. It was. seeing this world building, the CG, the acting, like everything fell together so well that I really want to buy this on Blu-ray. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do that. I liked this one. I want to see it again. It is good. The story, good. Characters, good. CG, good. Villain, maybe a little bit too much on the predictable side, but good. This movie, Disney, I'm not too big of a fan of your live action shit, but this is a good movie. I will see it again. I like it. And if you make more of Maleficent and it's this good, I'm going to be buying those tickets. Countdown. I don't remember shit from this one other than there aren't too many jump scares, so that's good. But other than that, the premise of an app killing you or showing you when you're gonna die, I mean, that's just what it is. It just shows you, oh, like that many days, okay, so by the end, shit happens. And it's kind of jump scare heavy in the beginning, and then at the end it's jump scare heavy again, but in the middle there's just so much nothing. It's okay. It's not very stellar. Like, if you're extremely bored and you see it on a streaming service, I guess you could give it a watch. And after the first half, if you're bored, turn it off because it's not going to get any better. 4 out of 10. Guns Akimbo. Holy shit. What a great, fun concept in a great, fun movie. This was such a joy. Daniel Radcliffe, such a joy. Oh my lord. This picture was teased online so long ago and we never got context, and then here you go, bam, all of a sudden the movie is here. And what a great movie it is. It is so much fun. If you can see this one, for the love of God, go see it, because this is an 8 out of 10. The story, Daniel Radcliffe rips on an online phenomena where people kill each other, and the responses you see in the chat, which is kind of like Twitch, it's like you're legitimately looking at the internet. It's such a good mirror of the internet. I'm sure that the writers of this script spend a lot of time online and they knew exactly the way people talk. Hell, there's even a joke where a Nerf gun gets fired at a character, and then the character looks at him and he says, "Mistakes were made," and I, for some reason, exploded into laughter. I couldn't help myself. It was such a joy of a movie, and this homeless character, holy fuck. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. This is a 9 out of 10. Right going into my Blu-ray collection. Absolutely. The History of the Kelly Gang. You know, this was... The movie kind of builds up slowly, kind of like Joker has a slow build-up, but while Joker still has things happening and still has things at stake, the Kelly Gang kind of fails at building up its ending. Like, the very ending is brutal. It's pretty fucking brutal. But, like, everything before, it just fails to deliver that heavy emotion to justify it all. I heard that this is based on real life happenings from back in the past, and that doesn't make it any better or worse. It just, okay, it happened, cool. The story is heavy. Like, this is a good one-time watch movie, but if you gotta watch it again, you're gonna skip through, I think, the first 50 to full-on hour. Yeah, you're gonna skip that much just to get to a certain part, and then see what happens onwards. I enjoyed it because the ending at the end was so stupidly climactic and fun, but I would not see it again. No, I wouldn't see it again. Terminator Dark Fate. Is it bad that I actually enjoyed this movie? I liked it. I wouldn't say I loved it, but I liked it, even though the feminist undertones were about as subtle as a bull in a fucking porcelain shop. That's how subtle it was. That's how subtle the feminism was. But I still enjoyed it because I was able to turn off that feminist undertone and still enjoy it as a movie. I mean, yeah, the feminist shit is really on the nose and it's bad, it's awful, it sucks. But seeing Linda Hamilton back, seeing her together on screen with Arnold, actually, that's the entire thing I like about this movie. Just seeing those two. I didn't think that the savior from the future, or her robotic slave savior, wasn't that much fun. They were pretty bland. They were not fun. The villain, he reminded me so much of Terminator 2 that it kind of worked in its advantage being its own ripoff, but it was still a fun movie that I would watch again just because Arnold and gang are so enjoyable. Linda Hamilton and Arnold make this movie, so does the villain, but the rest is just really falls flat. I'm giving this one a 6 out of 10. Jumanji: The Next Level. I have not seen the first one, and seeing this one, it was fun. It was a fun watch. The characters, like when they get in the game, the grandpa character is so endearing. Like, oh my god, he's so endearing being this slow talking animal expert. Like, he talks so slow, and it's enjoyable because there's so much heart in that, and I really had a soft spot for it. It was fun. The Rock really did well, surprisingly. Like, to me, he's not a stellar actor. He's just kind of okay, but here I really enjoyed the way he acted. He starts off so insecure about everything that he does, like he's superpowered, but he doesn't really know. And the world, it was great. It was absolutely great. Jack Black also, like, dude, a solid watch. I would watch this one again, definitely. You get an 8 out of 10. And the ending, heartwarming. And it teases for more. Midway. Okay, you know what's really badass? Dogfighting. With airplanes and shit, shooting at each other, bombing, all these enemies, all this destruction and carnage is great. And then you somehow suck the fun out of it in this movie. You ever get so much of the same meal, like every day, that you grow sick of it? And you just want something else? This entire movie is like if you're eating one thing that tastes so good that the first 3 bites that you take taste really nicely, and then afterwards, like, how far in are we? 30 minutes. How long is this one? Oh, fuck. Yeah, this was boring. It was just boring at the end. I did not like it. I've seen 1917, way better movie. And the last movie that I saw in 2019 was The Dare. Dare I say this sucked? Yeah, okay, maybe there's a running theme here how 2019, at least in the theaters, was a really bad year. And this movie didn't make it any better because it sucked. It really sucked. There were good elements, like the villain's backstory. That was interesting. And the connection with the characters, it was interesting. It was good. I enjoyed that. But everything around it was just so... Ugh. Okay, maybe I'm a little bit too good at making this imitation, but it was bad. Did not like it. The ending, I mean, they built this villain up to be so powerful and strong and muscular, and He's a silent killer, too. Like, the things that he does, he's always silent. But in the end, he just turns out to be a muscular big dude that talks and is super emotional. That would be fine if you build him up to be like that, rather than going from Jason Voorhees to a non-threatening Freddy Krueger that's muscular with one blade. Are you shitting me? And then also take out all the fun of Freddy Krueger? Like, take out the jokes and he's like super serious and he really wants to kill you guys? No. I'm sorry. This sucked. So, which are the stellar movies that I saw this year? Well, Joker and Angry Birds, I definitely recommend these two, like, at the absolute top, and you heard which other ones I recommend, like Maleficent, Toy Story 4, Scary Stories, Child's Play if you're really a big fan of it, Ma, Greta, They Shall Not Grow Old, and Shazam. These are the good movies I've seen this year that I would recommend from theaters. I've also seen movies on Netflix, but I could make a separate video about that, I guess, if you're interested. If you're interested in that, leave it in the comments. And what movies have you seen that you've seen in this video? Tell me in the comments below and tell me what you thought. In any case, see you all next time. I've been talking into this microphone for a straight hour, and I'm gonna go watch a movie. See you later.